The emerging axis of upheaval: Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. For decades, the global order has largely revolved around a Western-led framework, but a seismic shift is underway. Across Eurasia, from the Korean Peninsula to the Middle East, an informal yet increasingly coordinated alignment of powers is emerging. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, often called the axis of upheaval or CRINC, are not merely pursuing individual interests. They are actively increasing their support for one another, creating a formidable counterweight to Western influence and raising significant concerns for global stability. What drives this convergence, and what does it mean for the future of international relations? Introduction. Defining the alignment, the axis of upheaval, a new geopolitical reality. This isn't a formal military alliance like NATO with binding mutual defense clauses. Instead, it's a flexible, interest-based alignment of authoritarian states, united primarily by a shared antipathy towards the existing US-led world order and a desire for a multipolar world. They aim to diminish US global dominance, resist perceived Western interference in their internal affairs, and challenge norms like the prohibition on acquiring territory by force. While their individual motivations and long-term visions may differ, their immediate objectives often align, fostering an environment for increased cooperation across various domains. 2. The pillars of cooperation. A. Military and security cooperation. One of the most tangible manifestations of this deepening alignment is in the military and security sphere. Russia and Iran. The war in Ukraine has significantly deepened military ties. Iran has become a crucial supplier of drones, like the Shahed 136, and missiles to Russia, playing a significant role in attacks on Ukraine. In return, Russia has provided Iran with cereals, machinery, and industrial goods, and reportedly offers expertise in sanctions circumvention. A strategic partnership was signed in January 2025, though notably without a mutual defense clause. However, Russia has been cautious about fully tilting the regional military balance in Iran's favor, mindful of its ties with other Middle Eastern actors like Israel and Saudi Arabia. Russia and North Korea. North Korea has actively supported Russia's war in Ukraine, providing millions of artillery shells and ballistic missiles. This support has been reciprocated with Russian food and oil aid, and high-level visits between officials. In a significant move, Russia vetoed a UN Security Council resolution in March 2024 that would have extended the experts panel monitoring sanctions on North Korea, effectively ending them. While North Korea refers to their relationship as an alliance, Russia still labels it a partnership. China's role. While China maintains it does not sell weapons to Russia, it has been a critical source of dual-use technologies and industrial inputs with military applications, which are vital for Russia's defense industry. China also supplies Russia with computer microchips and components. Historically, China also provided missile defense technologies to Iran in the 1980s. Joint exercises. Joint naval exercises among China, Iran, and Russia have become a regular feature, particularly in the Gulf of Oman, signaling growing interoperability and a shared strategic vision in key waterways. There have been discussions, though no confirmed trilateral exercises, between Russia, China, and North Korea. B. Economic ties and sanctions. Evasion. Economic cooperation, often driven by Western sanctions, forms a crucial underpinning of this alignment. Circumventing sanctions. The sheer volume of Western sanctions has pushed these countries to increase bilateral and multilateral trade, creating alternative networks to reduce reliance on the US dollar. China as the economic hub. China plays a pivotal role. It is Iran's largest trade partner and the primary market for its oil exports, buying nearly 90% of Iran's oil. China has also become Russia's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade exceeding $240 billion in 2023. This economic lifeline has been critical for Russia in mitigating the impact of Western sanctions. North Korea's lifeline. China continues to subsidize North Korea, preventing its economic collapse and ensuring stability on its border. Russia has also unfrozen North Korean assets. Challenges. Despite growing trade, there are inherent limitations. Russia and Iran, both major oil exporters, can sometimes compete for the same markets. The effectiveness of sanctions, while prompting cooperation, also highlights the internal challenges these economies face. C. Diplomatic and ideological alignment. Beyond military and economic ties, a shared ideological framework and diplomatic coordination bolster this alignment. Anti-Western stance. All four nations frequently express anti-Western and anti-hegemonic rhetoric, viewing U.S. presence in their regions as a threat to their interests. They reject Western-defined universal values and promote a vision of a multipolar world where their influence is significantly expanded. Support on key issues. China has echoed Russian talking points on the war in Ukraine, blaming NATO. North Korea has consistently voted with Russia at the UN regarding Ukraine. This diplomatic solidarity helps legitimize their actions on the international stage. Autocratic tendencies. The authoritarian nature of these regimes also fosters a degree of mutual understanding and shared governance principles, even if their specific political systems differ. 3. Geopolitical implications and challenges. The emergence of this informal alliance carries profound geopolitical implications. Increased global instability. The coordinated actions of these states contribute to heightened tensions in various regions, from Eastern Europe and the Middle East to the Indo-Pacific. Their willingness to challenge the existing order raises the risk of localized conflicts escalating. Challenges to Western alliances. The alignment aims to undermine the effectiveness of Western alliances and security structures, forcing the U.S. and its partners to confront multiple interconnected threats simultaneously. Proliferation risks. The cooperation, particularly between Russia and North Korea, raises concerns about the transfer of advanced military technology and the proliferation of weapons, including potentially nuclear capabilities. Cyber warfare and disinformation. These nations have demonstrated a willingness to engage in cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns, further destabilizing the international information environment. However, this alignment is not without its own challenges and limitations. Internal divisions and divergent agendas. While united against a common adversary, their long-term strategic goals are not entirely aligned. Russia seeks global influence, while Iran primarily focuses on regional hegemony. China, unlike the others, is deeply integrated into the global economy and seeks to bend the existing order rather than overturn it entirely. This can lead to strategic caution and limits on full-scale cooperation. Historical baggage. Past conflicts and historical suspicions exist between some of these nations. For example, historical tensions between Russia and Iran over the Caucasus, and China's sometimes complicated relationship with North Korea. Technological gaps. Despite growing cooperation, significant differences in language, culture, political systems, and technological sophistication can hinder truly seamless integration, especially in areas like cyber warfare. Dependence on China, Iran, and North Korea are heavily reliant on China economically, which gives Beijing significant leverage and potentially limits their autonomy. The West's response and future outlook. How should the U.S. and its allies respond to this evolving geopolitical landscape? Strengthening alliances. Bolstering existing alliances and partnerships, particularly in Europe, the Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific, is crucial for collective security and deterrence. Economic countermeasures. Re-evaluating and adapting sanctions regimes to counter evasion strategies, while also exploring ways to reduce dependencies on these states where possible. Technological superiority. Maintaining a qualitative military and technological edge to deter aggression and defend against evolving threats. Diplomatic engagement where possible. While difficult, exploring avenues for de-escalation and managing potential flashpoints to prevent miscalculation and unintended escalation. Addressing internal weaknesses. The U.S. and its allies must also address domestic political divisions and economic challenges to maintain their strength and credibility on the global stage. Conclusion. The axis of upheaval represents a significant challenge to the current international order. While not a monolithic bloc, their converging interests and increasing cooperation demand a sophisticated and multifaceted response from the West. Understanding the motivations, capabilities, and limitations of this alignment is paramount for navigating the complex geopolitical landscape of the 21st century and shaping a more stable future. If you like this video, share, also what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And once again, thanks for watching.